Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from SpeechModification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we'll look at how to pronounce and use then and than. So these two words obviously have different spelling. They do have different pronunciation in that then with letter E says the eh sound, like in red tent, and than with letter A has the ah sound, like in black cat. The confusing thing is that in a lot of cases, we tend to reduce for both of these words and we don't use a very clear vowel. And so then and than can sound very similar when you're hearing them in conversation, which means it's challenging to know which one is being used if you're unfamiliar with the grammar of these words. So it can be helpful to look at the meaning and use of the words first and then talk about the pronunciation. See how I said and then? Then refers to time. So I was saying first, let's talk about the grammar, and then we can talk about the pronunciation. So it was a first and then situation. We also use it in a situation for if then. For example, if I meet you, then I'll have to bring my shoes with me. We'll work on it until then. Since then, we've been having some problems. So relative time for then. In terms of the pronunciation, this one tends to not change very much. Until then it tends to keep that clear eh vowel, because in a lot of these cases it is stressed, clear vowel in the word. So thinking about that, if you have difficulty making that vowel, make sure that you're using some other words to compare. So for example, 10 men went then. All of those have the same eh vowel. You can match and compare, especially with rhyming words like 10 and then. It can help you to make that sound. You can also get more help for vowel eh in my videos for that, as well as in my Sounds of English course, where I walk you through all of the vowels and consonant sounds of English to help you understand and use them correctly. When it comes to than, we use the word with the a, than, for making comparisons. So older than, younger than, smarter than, better than. In those cases, as I'm just saying those two words, using that clear ah vowel, but you can hear how often in fast, fluent speech, because this is coming between two more important words, if I'm saying he's older than you, I'm really not using that clear ah vowel there. It's more of older than, almost no vowel, very reduced, or if it gets reduced, it can kind of sound like the eh vowel of then, older than you, rather than older than you. I don't open as clearly for that ah vowel because it's a reduced ah. We use this reduced ah sound with a more closed mouth in other words that are unstressed and unimportant. For example, I have a video talking about the word that. I think that it can. In that case, again, that vowel gets very reduced. It's more of an I or an eh, or almost no vowel again. So that's, I think, why people will sometimes, even native speakers, write and spell the word then when they should be using the word than, because we're not making that clear ah vowel sound as we're speaking. Rather than go into detail, for example, using that than rather than, I can use a clear ah vowel, but it slows me down. It's less fluent. So it's very natural for people to not really use this correct pronunciation, the ah correct full pronunciation, because this word is unstressed, it's unimportant, and therefore its vowel gets reduced. So if I'm trying to make it very clear that I'm saying the word than, I can say, rather than go, and use that clear ah sound. Most of the time, though, you're going to really not hear this ah, and it's going to sound a lot more like then, rather than using an ah, I'm using more of an eh, or even just no vowel, rather than I'm going very quickly from the th to the n sound. I hope that helped clear up the challenge that we have with these two vowels. Of course, if you're trying to be clear and make a clear distinction between the two, we're doing the eh, less open vowel for then, and the ah, more open vowel for an, just like we do for men versus man. But in real connected speech, you're not going to hear a clear ah vowel for most speakers on this word, which is why it is confusing and difficult to know which one is being said as you're learning these words. When it comes to writing, just remember, if it has to do with time, then you need then. If it is a comparison, you need than. I hope that made these two words more clear for you, both the usage and the pronunciation. Thanks so much for you, the viewer, who brought up this topic. I do think that it's helpful for other people to know. If you have questions, comments, or a topic you'd like me to discuss in a future video, please feel free to leave those in the comments. You can also attend our Saturday live question and answer classes. Type your questions in the chat and I'll answer them for you live. We talk about pronunciation, intonation, fluent speaking, all kinds of details to help you improve overall in your English speaking. Thanks so much for watching this video, for liking, commenting, sharing. All those things help the channel to grow, and I truly appreciate your support. You can get more help for the sounds in these words and all of the sounds of English in our Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com. You might also like our Real Talk course, where we look at how written words differ from how they sound in fluent speech. That's our more advanced course, looking at reductions like than becoming then, and other reductions and linking to help you sound more fluent and natural when speaking English. That's our Real Talk course, and you can find it on our website, speechmodification.com. Thanks everyone, and looking forward to seeing you in our next class. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye everyone. Hope to see you again soon.